This is a great example of why I don't tend to cover rivens that much. Apart from the fact that they are insanely expensive once you've rolled them 8 or 9 times, and that can get really expensive when it comes to kuva. I just got this AK Zany mod. I already have one and this has flight speed on it, which is pretty useless. It does have cold, which, yeah, I'll roll this one, see what happens. And this is what it gives us. It increases damage, it increases toxic, it increases electricity, which means this one mod will add, I think it's corrosive from that combination, quite a bit of it once you level it up. Both of these numbers are just made completely useless by the fact that it takes 29% damage off, assuming that this scales upwards. So you're actually losing puncture and gaining, what, if that's 30, that's 31, so 1 to 2% corrosive. Yeah, that is by far a ridiculous roll on this thing. Luckily, you can of course keep the old ones, but the fact that it would have minus damage on here just means that every positive on it has been overwritten by the negative side of it, because most decent ones do have a negative side, this one being the minus flight speed, so the projectiles are going to take a little bit longer to get there, but it doesn't, the AK Zany doesn't have that bad of a flight speed anyway, so that's not so bad. The zoom's pretty decent, the cold can be useful. Try to roll it for a better build on it, and minus 29% damage, but it adds 18.9 puncture. So technically the plus damage, plus puncture, minus the damage, is technically still minus like 9 point something, 9.1 puncture. So it's still a minus figure despite the fact it's got the plus on it. This is why I don't bother rolling my rivens, simply because you could waste a lot of kuva doing this. Some of them are worth it. And though I do like my AK Zanies, they're just not as good as they once were. Can you put more than one riven in? You can't. That's a shame. So putting this in here, actually in the other one that I have, is plus puncture and plus reload speed, which is why I prefer that one. Minus recoil as well, which means it should be less of a spray and pray weapon. That's a fairly decent one for not being rolled, compared to this one that just adds cold, lets you zoom a little bit further and slows the rate of the bullet's flight through the air. Not so useful. Mastery rank 11, useful. Mastery rank 12, useless. This is why I haven't bothered with rivens. This is why I probably won't. Unless I get a decent one, then I will. Now don't get me wrong on this. I do roll my riven mods occasionally. This one I will do because I have the kuva available to do it. It's not going to give me much more than I had on it. Okay, I seriously take that back. Reload speed's lowered, but it did add damage, so this is the opposite end of the scale of cruddiness. That is better than what I had. It still has plus impact on it, but it's not as much. That did have more magazine capacity. This has more damage and crit damage. Reload speed I can mod around, so it is worth rolling these. The ones I tend to use the most being the Bratton one, never been rolled. The Stinger one, because it's constantly on the Stinger, was rolled once and got a fairly decent build on it. Same with the other Stinger mod that I sometimes use. Rolled once, got a decent build on it. The Huge, same thing. It's got damage on it, never been rolled. Same with the Staticore, which I was actually traded somebody for. It has damage on it to begin with, so it doesn't really need rolled. You can roll these. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to roll them. I am just kind of making excuses as to why I haven't, because I haven't got certain ones, and other ones I'm just torn between whether I want to leave it as it is, especially with the Paris one here. It's got crit chance on it. It does do more damage to Corpus, which is better than minus damage to Corpus. It adds flight speed. That's not a bad mod, but I would like to keep rolling it to try and get plus damage and some form of... I would like to keep the crit chance and the flight speed, possibly get something else apart from damage to Corpus. When that double resource weekend does come, I will be farming the hell out of kuva. Till then, I just kind of leave my rivens sitting inside of this mod machine, hoping I get the kind of rivens that I want. First reroll. If I don't, I tend to just sacrifice them to endo. And if I don't happen to get ones I want, I do sit in trading trying to find them. I have a bunch of rivens. You would have noticed I don't have one for the heck or for the Sonocore, which I would like. I'll get them eventually, then I might reroll those ones until I get a fairly decent roll on them. Until then, I'm just kind of leaving them alone and crossing my fingers for that double resource weekend when I actually have the time to farm a lot of kuva. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.